What's goody, y'all? Welcome back to the Winner's Circle, y'all. Today I'm excited about today's video. We are talking about Jesus. Jesus was the chosen one, the one and only Jesus. And for y'all who don't know, that's just Jesus in Spanish. Don't be on here, oh, that's blasphemy. But let's get into it though, y'all. But first, if this is your first time seeing me, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the Winner's Circle, because you really gonna get your life bossed up here. You're gonna love this channel. If y'all my day ones, you already know we locked in. I love y'all to death. But let's get into it though, y'all. Jesus was a chosen one, okay? And I feel like it's really important for us to talk about he was a chosen one, because a lot of people take offense to people when they compare themselves to Jesus, or they say that they're doing the same work as Jesus, and it's nothing to be offended by. If you a chosen one, you are doing the same work that Jesus is doing. If you answered your calling, you are doing the same work that Jesus was doing. It's important that you understand that Jesus was not only the main character in the Bible. He wasn't only just the son of God or whatever, but you're the son of God. You're the daughter of God. You are the son of God. Okay. And yes, he was that chosen one, but he also embodied certain characteristics and traits about himself that we also embody. And if you are embodying those characteristics, guess what? You operating in your Jesus energy. You are literally embodying the same characteristics, the same traits, the same things that was put into Jesus is put into you. Jesus said that the people after him, the chosen one after him, are going to be even greater than him. So it is not blasphemy to say that to compare yourself to Jesus, or to say that you're doing the same work that Jesus was doing. And if you feel like that is blasphemy, then you're just not as chosen as you think you are. And that's as real as it's going to get. Because if you know for a fact that you answered your calling, you operating in your purpose, you know for a fact that you embody in Jesus's energy, and you are doing the same work that Jesus was doing. Jesus brought light to this earth. He was performing miracles. And let's talk about the miracles. I talked about it before, but performing miracles is not just some magic trick that's going on. When you perform a miracle, the definition of a miracle, I don't remember the definition verbatim, word for word, but the definition of a miracle is when you change someone's perspective. And when you can change someone's perspective about something and change their mind about something, change the way they perceive something, now their circumstances have changed because you have changed their perspective. You didn't change their situation for them. You changed how they look at their situation. And now, because they're looking at their situation different, they're looking at the glasses half full instead of half empty. They're looking at the situation and being more solution oriented. That's how you performed a miracle. And that's what Jesus was doing. He was bringing light to this earth. He was performing miracles. He was helping people to step in their true calling. And let me just say this, let's just make the record clear. Jesus was spiritual. Jesus was not religious. He was not walking around talking about religion this and religion that and following all of these man-made rules. Jesus was spiritual. He was bringing the spirituality out of people. He was helping people to get connected to their higher self, their true divine self, and reconnect with that olive branch of God, and letting people remember who the fuck they really are. That's what he was doing. He was showing people and reminding people who they really are. Okay, so shout out to you, Jesus, okay? And Jesus was a chosen one, y'all. He was going from place to place, from city to city, helping people, healing people, changing people's minds, changing people's perspective, changing people's viewpoint on life, helping people to be more optimistic in their life, teaching people how to manifest their life, how to create their own worlds instead of being stuck in this lack mindset. I can't, living in poverty, living from struggle to struggle. And he was reminding people, you've got to remember who you are. And because he had already known who he was the catalyst to show people, this is what you can do. This is what you can accomplish. This is what you can succeed at. This is who you truly are. Okay. Jesus was that walking catalyst to show people. He was bridging the gap from religion to spirituality, bringing people together, saying, stop all of this division. Stop all of this. Oh, you're a Christian and they're Hindus and and these people are Buddhists, and stop all of that causes division. At the end of the day, we all talking about God. We all talking about the end all be all. We all talking about that source energy. Stop the division. And that's what Jesus was here to do. He was enlightening people. He was enlightening people to say, stop the division and understand your spirituality is where it's at. When you were connected to God, it don't matter all of these man-made titles. When you connected to God, that's what it is. He was bringing people back to spirituality, bringing back to that source energy, bringing back people back to that bringing people back to their soul's purpose on what they can truly do, instead of focusing on the outside world, because everybody was just so focused on they can't do this, they can't do that, the struggle, this sickness, all of these things that they were creating in their own lives, and not even realizing that they were causing these things to happen in their own life. It was a ripple effect. It was a domino effect of their belief system, of their behaviors, of their bad choices. He was centering people, bringing them back to reality, bringing back to spirituality, saying, listen, this is how you're going to fix your life. This is how you're going to change your life. And if you are doing that in people's life, guess what? You are working in your Jesus energy. You are embodying your Jesus energy. And that's just what it is, okay? Jesus was a chosen one. And before he answered his call, he was a regular person. Jesus was the carpenter for 30 years, y'all. He was a regular person for 30 years. He was being a carpenter. He was building tables. He was building furniture in people's house. But he knew inside, like, this is not fulfilling my highest calling. This is not fulfilling what I want to do. I know I'm not living in my purpose. He had that burning desire, just like I did, just like you do. Man, comment in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. He had that burning desire. Like, I know for a fact that I'm meant to be something different. I know that I'm destined for greatness. I know that, like, there's something different about me. There's something different that I'm supposed to be doing here. He felt that in him. And he knew that if he kept on being a carpenter, if he stayed faithful to his earthly job, so to speak, then he wouldn't be fulfilling his purpose. He wouldn't be fulfilling his calling. That calling kept on calling him. It kept on calling him. If your calling is calling you, answer the call, y'all. Answer the call, because it is going to truly change your life. The abundance that is waiting for you on the opposite side of you taking that leap of faith is unmatched. I'm saying it's unmatched. The abundance, the love, the joy, the freedom, the liberation that is waiting for you once you answer your call. There's no job that can fulfill it. There's no 9-to-5 that can give you what your calling can give you. There's no 9-to-5 that can give you the amount of money that your calling can open up doors for. Literally, when you start operating your calling, you start operating in your purpose. It's like a portal for money. It's like a portal for love, a portal for joy. It's just so freeing. I cannot stress that enough. It is truly liberating when you start operating your call, when you start operating your purpose. And Jesus wasn't operating his purpose for a long time. He was genuinely out there like, I know there's something different. I know there's something better. I can't keep on doing this. I can't keep on being a carpenter. I can't keep on, I'm supposed to be helping people more. And it wasn't until he started to dive deep. It wasn't until, I think one of his first steps on starting his ministry was he got baptized. And being baptized is more symbolic, y'all. A lot of the stuff in the Bible is symbolic. It's not literal. A lot of people take everything in the Bible so literal. Being baptized, I'm sorry to break it to you, but it does not mean you go sit in a pool of water. That's not what being baptized means. Being baptized is being transformed by the renewing of your mind. And we use water as symbolic because water is the giver of life. Water is water takes the form of anything that it touches. Water is unlimited. You can't count water. Water is abundant. Water is endless. Water is infinite. Water is, it's the giver of life. You know, when a woman is pregnant and we have a baby in our womb, the sac is submerged in water. The amniotic fluid water is the giver of life. It does not, I'm sorry for you religious folks, it does not mean you going to church and you getting dunked in underwater. That is not baptism. It is the renewing and the transforming of your mind that you are here to change lives, that you are here to operate in your gift. You are here to be the seasoning to the earth. You are here to enlighten people. You are here to help people reach a higher consciousness. That is what being baptized is. And hey, some of y'all might disagree, but go ahead and keep on dunking yourself and dunking your kids in that water and let me know how it's working out for you. Let me know how it's working out for you, okay? But when he started his ministry, he got baptized, okay? He started to transform his mind, and then God put him in the wilderness. And what that wilderness looks like is it's the same thing that you going through right now. It's the same thing that I'm going through right now. It's the same thing that us chosen ones all experience, that loneliness, being isolated, being in isolation, people falling off, people, you know, being able to just clear yourself of the outside noise, the outside chatter, all of the opinions of others, all of the ideas of others, all of the judgments of others, God took him in the wilderness. And when he was in that wilderness, I like to call it a spiritual upgrade. When you isolate it, you literally get a spiritual upgrade. You go through some dark nights of the soul. You go through some accountability. You go through some fixing of your character, some shaping up, getting rid of toxic behaviors, getting rid of self-sabotaging behaviors. Listen, a lot of people got a lot of self-sabotaging behaviors and don't even realize that they be sabotaging stuff that's meant to bless them. But when you always around people, when you always got people in your face, when you always have to go to work and you always have to listen to this person, and don't misunderstand me. I'm not saying that going to work is bad, but I'm telling you, your calling is not your 9 to 5. I just got to keep it real. Your calling is not your 9 to 5. Your 9 to 5 is what keeps you kind of stagnant. A 9 to 5 will keep you out of your calling. It'll keep you out of your goals. It'll keep you out of your dreams and your greatest desires of your heart. It'll keep you away from that. It'll totally keep you away from that. But Jesus was isolated. That was the beginning of his ministry, is being taken into the wilderness, and God was giving him a spiritual upgrade. He was fixing him on the inside, purging all of these behaviors, purging all of these worldly beliefs. You can't do this, you can't do that, limitations on this, limitations on that. And igniting his spiritual gifts. Let me know in the comment section if you know what I'm talking about. If you've been isolated and you really start to see that your spiritual gifts start to surface. You getting rid of toxic behaviors. You changing your belief system. You eating better. You looking better. You feeling better. You taking better care of yourself. Your intuition is starting to become more clear. Your decisiveness, your decision making is starting to be more clear, and you starting to trust yourself more. Those are the starts of your spiritual gifts increasing and enhancing. You getting that spiritual upgrade when you isolated, that is the beginning of your awakening. That's the beginning of you on your path and you on your journey to keep on moving forward, to start operating in your calling. But before Jesus started operating his calling, y'all, I'm telling you, he was a carpenter. He was doing that stuff for 30 years. And a lot of the times people think that, oh, you got to be in a spiritual position to be doing spiritual work, or in a spiritual position to be like a healer or whatever to start your spiritual journey. No. It don't start like that. It never starts like that. It starts in your worldly job. It starts in your worldly everyday to day, your everyday commitments, your everyday faithfulness, your everyday character building. And that's how God starts to prepare you. Because let's just face it, if you a raggedy person before you're calling, you probably ain't really got that. Raggedy people don't be having that calling. You got to have a heart to be a chosen one. You have to have a heart of gold, to where you slow to anger. You know how to sit back and decipher some things. And that's not to say that you're perfect, but you damn sure not the average Joe. And that's a fact. Come in the comment section, I'm not the average Joe. You have a different calibration about your spirit, your soul, than the average person does. Because the average, let's just be real, y'all, everybody is not awakened. And I hate to use the term awaken and sleep, because it's just so, people just use it so loosely and it's not being used the right way. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to use that. Everybody is not awakened, okay? And everybody is not awakened to their true abilities and their true power. A lot of people asleep. And some people are just not meant to be awakened, because once you become awakened to your spirituality, your spiritual gifts, and the things that you are set in this earth to do, and the miracles that you can start performing, a lot of people's nervous system can't handle it. There's some things that I experience in my life, that I see happening in my life, that I experience in my dreams, that I experience in the middle of the night, that if I was my old self, I wouldn't be able to handle it. I'd be like, oh, hell no. It'll spook you out. It'll creep you out. Your nervous system has to be in alignment. Your nervous system got to be ready. You have to be in a position to be opened up to that spiritual realm. And it's not always easy. A lot of people get opened up to that spiritual realm. They get scared. They think everything is of the devil. And it's like, no, calm down. Not everything is bad for you. Not everything is against you. But again, if you're not ready, it's not going to be opened up. Jesus had to get ready. God was preparing him through his everyday job. God is preparing you through your everyday job. God is teaching, man, listen, God, if you're trying to open up a business or something, and now, you might be a manager somewhere, and you like, I'm tired of doing this and tired of doing that. Yeah, I just got a raise, or yeah, I just got promoted, but I don't want to work here. I don't want to do this. Those skills that you're learning is preparing you for that business. That patience that you're learning is preparing you for your calling. That money management that you're learning is preparing you for your greater good. That time management that you're learning is preparing you for your highest calling, because you just can't wake up one day and have everything equipped and have all of the tools. You have to go through things and experience things to learn these things, to be equipped with these certain things. I've been through a lot in my life, and I'm sure we all have, but without those things that I went through in my life, I wouldn't be able to be who I am and be able to teach how I'm teaching from experience, unless I had gone through these trials and tribulations, had gone through these jobs that I didn't want to work out, these jobs that I didn't want to deal with these people. But each person that I dealt with on my path, each person, each job, each circumstance that I went through literally prepared me for the reason why I'm sitting here today. And it's the same thing with Jesus. He was a carpenter for 30 years and he didn't want to do it. He became restless about it. He knew, he had that burning sensation inside of him. Like, I know there is something greater for me. I know that there is something different for me. I know that there's a higher calling for me. Jesus was a chosen one, and so are you. If you're a chosen one, answer the call. Start operating in your purpose. Start operating in your gifts. And the number one way you could do that, people ask me all the time, how do I start operating in my calling? How do I become more spiritual? How do I start diving deep? How do I talk to God more? How do I get more connected to God? Listen, you guys, it's never outside of you. God is not outside of you. A lot of religion teaches us to pray, like God is away from us, or, a separate entity or deity, but outside of us. That is not how you reach God. How you reach God is you start going within. God is in you. You are God. You are a manifestation of God. God is never outside of you. God is the blood that flows through your veins. It's the hair that stand up on the back of your neck. It's the intuition. It's the little nudges you get. It's the whisper that you hear in your ear. It's the insight that you get about a situation. That is where God is, okay? So when you start going within is loving on yourself. When you start loving yourself more, you magnify God in your life. And these things that I'm telling you might sound small or foreign or minute, like that's not how you find God. I promise you, this is how you find God. You start loving yourself more. You start setting boundaries with people more. You start putting yourself first. When you start doing that, you will literally see God rise up in you like a flower blooming out of the concrete. I promise you. You will start to enhance. Once you start loving yourself through and through 1,000%. And a lot of people think they love themselves, but it's not to maximum capacity. When you start putting yourself first, you start setting your boundaries, you start saying no to people, and you start being, I hate to say it, but you even got to start being a little bit mean to people, because being nice gets you used, pushed over, disrespected, ran through. People don't respect that humble shit. People don't respect that nice shit. When you start being a little bit mean and saying, this is what I said, this is what I require, this is what I deserve, this is who I am, I promise you, God will start to rise up in you. And the more you start to do that, especially while you're in isolation, it'll be a ripple effect. You will start to manifest the other various aspects in your life that God multiplies you in, and God surfaces in your life. You will start to become more creative. That creativity will land you opening up a business, starting a YouTube channel, start whatever it is that you do well with the least amount of effort. That's your calling. That's what your purpose is. Whatever it is that you're doing with the least, you do exceptionally well. You do it like nobody else can do it, but you do it with the least amount of effort. It just comes so naturally to you. That's what your calling is. That's what your purpose is. Whatever it is that you do so well, and it helps make the world go round. You making people better. You putting smiles on people's face. You giving people value. You providing people with resources. You providing people with knowledge, with information. You giving people value to help them live a better quality of life. That's where your purpose is. That creativity will land you more into your purpose. That purpose will start to open up more doors for you. Those doors will start to open up people coming to you, prophesying to you. You this, you that, you da-da-da-da. This is literally how you find God, y'all. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going to church. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with going here, going there, to youth groups, none of that. I'm not saying none of that. But that's not how you find God. God is already in you. You don't need to go no motherfucking where to find God. Isolation is where Jesus found God. Isolation is how Jesus started his ministry. Isolation is how I started my ministry. Isolation, being in the wilderness, being by yourself with all that outside noise, all these outside man rules, all of these condemning yourself, calling yourself a sinner and calling yourself this and cutting you further and further, cutting you off from the olive branch of God. That is not how you find God. That is not. You find God when you center yourself and you go within. You start loving yourself. You start taking care of yourself. You start talking to God. You start talking to yourself while you're in isolation. Then it sparks creativity. Then it sparks all of these ideas. Then you start to get more downloads. And that's what it looks like when God starts to really grow in your life. Then you will be unstoppable. You'll be unstoppable, and you'll start looking at the world like, God dang, this whole world is a lie. This whole world is like, all these religions are cults. All of these religions are man-made. All of this man-made doctrine is BS. You will start to look at the world like everything is a lie. Everything is toe up. Everything is burnt up. Everything is raggedy. And then you will start, because you have so much insight, because you will start to get so many downloads and so much visions and so much insight. And so your intuition is through the roof. Then you really start giving people the information. And that's exactly what Jesus was doing. He was giving people, because he was that vessel to be opened up to receive all of that information. Then he was sharing the good news with other people. And some people thought, he's crazy, he's a witch, he's this. The same thing they say about everybody who is spiritual and get away from the church and get away from religion. They did the same thing to Jesus. They called him names. They tried to stone him. They tried to do this. They was doing that. But don't worry about that, y'all. God got your back. Because don't forget, God was setting cities on fire behind what Jesus was doing, okay? People was trying to come against Jesus. God got your back. But that's what it looks like to go within and start having God operating in your life. God, looking for God is never outside of you. Never. And I promise you, the catalyst to that is loving yourself. Telling people no, setting boundaries, not letting people disrespect you, really putting yourself first. Oh, excuse me. And you will really start to see God flourish in your life. I promise you, it works just like that. It's not you going to church and you tithing this much over here and you focusing on this and you putting this pastor or this priest or this deacon on the pedestal. It ain't none of that. As a matter of fact, you putting other people on the pedestal, you sitting in the congregation worshiping that other person is taking you further and further away from God. Do it to yourself. If you could put so much faith into a pastor, and again, I'm not here to disrespect anybody. I mean, no offense, but I gotta keep it real. If you could worship and put so much faith and so much ooh into this pastor that's on the pulpit preaching to you, how come you can't do that for yourself? Everything starts with you. Everything is you. It's in you. It's all about you, baby. God is not outside of you. It's never outside of you. Start worshiping your damn self. And I promise you, you will find God. Start focusing on yourself. You will find God. Start taking care of yourself. Start taking care of your body. Start taking care of your mindset. And you will find God. I promise you. You will start to feel God. You'll be like, dang, I thought I knew God, but I really didn't. You will literally start to feel God in your blood, in your soul, in your body, in your mind, in your thoughts, in your words, and I can't stress that. I'm about to get emotional, y'all, because you don't understand. Like, God is not outside of you. You don't find God at these buildings. And I'm not saying don't go to these buildings. You will never find God like that, though. God is within you. You got to start taking care of yourself. You got to start loving yourself. You literally got to start worshiping yourself, and God will rise up in you. God will say, now you know what you're doing. Now you loving yourself. Now you be operating in your calling. You can't be worshiping other people in order to be operating in your calling. You can't be putting other people on a pedestal, but operating in your calling. You think Jesus will put anybody on a pedestal? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Jesus said, I am the way. I am the truth and the light. I am the truth and the life. Jesus said, I'm the one. I'm the one. And that's exactly what you need to say about yourself. When Jesus said, I'm the one, he's talking about self. He's not talking about worship his character. I don't know how else to put this. It's not worshiping the character of Jesus and he's the truth and the way. That's not what that is. When he said me, he means self. It's biblical. It's metaphorically speaking. He's talking about self, not someone else. He's talking about self. That's what you need to do for yourself. You need to love yourself. You need to know that you are the way to your own redemption. You need to know that you are the way to your own abundance. You need to know that you are the only way to God. Not no middleman. You don't need to go to no priest or nobody, no confessionals. You talk to yourself. You confess to yourself. You get real with yourself. It's self, you guys. It's self. Okay? Symbolically speaking, it's symbolic. It's not worshiping a character in the book. It's symbolically speaking, teaching you how to, it's self. Okay? I cannot stress that enough. Embody your Jesus energy, y'all. Love yourself. Understand that you have all the answers. Understand that you are the solution. Understand that once you go within yourself and you stop putting other people on pedestals and you stop trusting other people's word and other people's advice over yourself, I promise you, the more you do that, you will see God in your life. The more you go within self, the more you know that you are your answer, the more you trust your own decision making, the more you trust that, you know what? I don't need nobody to tell me, oh, you can't drink wine, you can't do this, you can't do that. You regulate yourself. I'm content with my character. I'm content that I'm making good decisions. I'm content that I'm a good mother. I'm content that I'm a good father. I'm content that I'm a good neighbor. You regulate yourself. And when you start regulating yourself, you will start to see these small powers get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger inside of you. It is never outside of you. That pastor has no more knowledge or no more power than you do as long as you go within yourself. And I promise you, you start to go within yourself, you really start seeing God operating in your life, you be like, I ain't listening to that, pastor. I'm not listening to that. And that's not to go for every pastor, every person, every preacher, none of that. I'm not saying none of that. But you will start to see that there's more phonies out here than there are real ones out here. There's more phonies out here than there are chosen ones out here. If you a chosen one, this message is going to hit hard. It is going to resonate with you. If you're not a chosen one, oh, she's blasphemous, and you're going to unsubscribe, you're going to feel away. You ain't going to know what I'm talking about, because I don't expect you to understand something you're not experiencing. Stay in the world, stay in the matrix. But if you're a chosen one, this is going to hit so hard for you. It's going to resonate with you, because you are here to be that light worker. You are here to perform miracles on people. You are here to be the seasoning of this earth. You are here to bring people back to their spirituality and centered back to their soul's purpose. That's what you're here for. So if you think this video is blasphemy, it don't resonate because you ain't the chosen one. It don't resonate with you. You don't understand what I'm saying. A lot of people out there think they're chosen, but they're not. What are you doing? Where's your mission work? It's chosen as past tense, y'all. Where's your mission work? Operate in your calling. And that isolation period is vital. It will literally retransform your life as long as you tapping into it right. Go within. Love yourself. Trust yourself. The more you start loving yourself, trusting yourself, putting yourself first, setting boundaries, putting yourself on a pedestal, God will start to grow and magnify in you. It's not the other way around. It's not God is here and you looking to find God, and when you find God, you know you found him. No, that's not even how faith works. You got to know that it's inside of you. And the more you focus on you, man, the rest is history. It works just like that, you guys. It works just like that. The more you focus on you, the more you grow yourself, the more you love yourself, the more you respect yourself, the more you trust yourself. You can't be out here trusting other people more than you trust you. You can't do that. If you trusting somebody else more than you trust you, you're losing your power. You're not operating in your power. Now, sure, you can get advice from people, you get guides from people, you get insight from people, you can get knowledge from Coach E, sure. But you can't trust me more than you trust you. Know who you are. Go deep within yourself. Being in that isolation, being in that wilderness, that's how Jesus found God. He had that spiritual upgrade, spiritual maintenance going on while he was in the wilderness. I'm talking heavy spiritual maintenance. And I know exactly what that's like. And sometimes it can feel real dark, because you come to a lot of realizations about yourself and about this world and about what you was taught and about what other people think and about what these rules and these regulations. You come to a lot of dark realizations, and it ain't for everybody to take on. It ain't for everybody to take on at all. At all. But Jesus was in the wilderness. He was a carpenter for 30 years. It was preparing him. Then he was in the wilderness for a while, getting that spiritual upgrade, that spiritual maintenance. And then he set off to change people's lives, to change people's minds, to help wake people up, to help people bring themselves back to their soul's purpose, back to their spirituality, back to who they were. Jesus was a chosen one. Are you a chosen one? Comment in the comment section if you're a chosen one. Y'all, if y'all want this flawless, sexy, beautiful skin like mine, healthy skin, it don't matter if you're a man or a woman. Get you some body butter, y'all. This one is hydrating cool butter, and it smells so good. But y'all see how I got that orange tint to it? Literally have you glowing. Literally will have you going. It just melt as soon as it touch your body. It just melt on you. But that orange tint will have you glowing. You'll be in the sun looking like a copper penny. You'll be glowing everywhere you go. Everywhere you go. Get you some body butter. You can get 15% off. Use code SPOOKE. I'll have it linked in the comment section, okay? But if you were chosen one, comment and let me know what you thought about this video. It's gonna be a lot of people who think they're chosen and they're not. And they're gonna be like, oh my God, that's so blasphemous to compare yourself to Jesus, because you don't know what it's like. I don't expect nobody to understand what I'm talking about or believe something that they don't experience. You gotta this video, what I'm saying is gonna cut deep, because you just gotta know what I'm saying. You just have to experience what I'm saying. It is not blasphemy to compare yourself to Jesus if you know you're doing the same work as Jesus. It's the same thing. I love y'all so much, you guys. Thank you so much for all the comments, all the love that you guys are giving me. Welcome to the Winner's Circle, you guys, to all the new subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. I love y'all. See you next time.